This video is not sponsored by Canon. I'm thinking if there's a more budget-friendly way of doing dramatic OCF portrait. Hi everyone, it's Christina from Photosprouts here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I always love to use an ultra-wide angle lens for doing off-camera flash portrait because I can showcase the context, which can be a sky or a cityscape, and then add the model to tell a story. The equipment that I use is the Canon R5 full-frame mirrorless camera and the 15-35mm f2.8 ultra-wide angle lens. The total cost is around $5,000. Ultra-wide angle lenses are usually very expensive, but recently, Canon has released a new ultra-wide angle lens for its EOS R crop sensor mirrorless camera lineups. And here comes the RF-S 10-18mm F4.5-6.3, and it costs less than $300. Today, I'm going to use this lens with a Canon R50 entry-level camera to try some OCF portrait. Please note that we need to multiply the Canon crop factor, which is 1.6, to get the equivalent focal length of the lens, which will give us 16 to 29mm. And this focal length is very close to the RF 15-35mm f2.8 lens that I always use, and I'll get the field of view and the composition that I need. Hi everyone, it's Christina from Photosprouts here. Today we're gonna do an OCF photo shoot with this beautiful model. What's your name?
My name is Nastya.
We have a more budget option for this photo shoot. In order to fire a Godox off-camera flash on the R50, you need to have the adapter, the ADE1 adapter. You have to purchase the ADE1 adapter if you want to fire any Godox flash or trigger on top of the R50 camera. Otherwise, the flash won't go off. I've created a separate video on how to use it. I'm gonna put the link in the description down below. The images are awesome, but just looking at the camera screen, they're almost as good as using the R5 and the 15-35mm lens. Also, this camera and lens combination is super light. The flip screen of the R50 camera allows me to shoot from a low angle, and this is essential for my style of OCF portraits. It's my ambient. Okay, and turn the flash on. However, the aperture of this lens is narrow and changes with the focal length. This means my ambient exposure might change slightly as I zoom in and zoom out, and I have to be mindful about that. For this shot, I slowed down the shutter speed in order to motion blur the cars behind the model. And a slow shutter speed means a lot of light, so I had to narrow down the aperture in order to properly expose for the ambient. We also compared the result with the expensive option, the R5 plus the 15-35mm f2.8 lens. And here's the R50 plus the 10-18mm lens. I think the premium option gives a more accurate and pleasant skin tone straight from the camera and has less distortions. The fact that the lens has a fixed maximum aperture of f2.8 also helps the light to fall beautifully on the model. And the eyes of the model are way sharper in the premium option. And of course, it's a $2,100 lens and a $3,000 body, almost 6 times more expensive than the budget option. But I think if you want to try ultra-wide-angle OCF portraits just for fun, then the R50 plus the RF-S 10-18mm lens is the perfect combination. And by the way, what if we use the 10-18mm on the full-frame R5 body? Will there be a crop? The answer is yes. There will be a crop even though they're physically compatible. Check out my other video to learn more. We're Photosprouts photography workshops in San Francisco. Equipment is provided for beginners so that they don't need to buy a camera to come to a photography class.